Hello, good evening. Welcome to the lesson. Okay. Just want to make sure, can you see and hear me clearly? Okay, that's good. All right. May I know your name, please? Katie. Hi, Katie. Nice to meet you. Yes. My name is Teacher John. I am an English teacher for 3 years. I taught English conversation and storytelling for many students across Asia. Okay. Right. I just want to ask you, how was your Monday going so far? Good? Tired? I see. That's okay. Okay, let's begin. Now, could you tell me something about yourself? Working. Okay. Could you tell me your job, please? Okay. Is this your first time taking the exam? Okay, I see. Since this is your first time, when will be your examination date? December 12th. Okay. And what would be your target score? I see. Okay, got it. Thank you. Now, are you familiar with the speaking test? No, I see. That's fine. Okay, I'm here to help you. I will start explaining now what will be the three parts of the speaking test. You ready? Okay, so let's review the format of the test a bit. In part one of the real IELTS exam, the examiner will ask you for your ID and your name, and then ask you about either work and study or a topic related to accommodation, such as where you're living at the moment, your accommodation, your hometown, or your home. Then the examiner will ask you simple questions about one or two more topics to which you will need to give short answers. In part two, the examiner will give you a topic. You have 1 minute to prepare and make some notes, and then you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes about it. This means that you need to speak at length, and it's better if you structure your answer well so that the examiner can understand what you mean better. After that, in part three, you will need to answer some more difficult questions about the same topic. This will usually include complex questions where you will need to talk about what you think might happen or things which should change in society, although there is no set length for awareness answers in this section. You should try to give slightly longer and more detailed answers than in part one. Okay. 5 to 6 sentences are usually appropriate. In all the parts of the test, the examiner will focus on assessing your language ability and how well you can express information and opinions. Therefore, it's important to make the English you use not just as accurate as possible, but also interesting. Okay, got that. Right. Do you have any questions about the explanation? I see. You're good. Okay. Now, we will be doing a full mock test like the real exam. I need to make sure time spent on each part is appropriate. So don't worry if I stop you, okay? It's normal in the real exam as well. Okay, I think you're ready. Let's start. Let's begin with your first question. Part one, this is about rain. Do you like rainy days? Okay. Does it rain much in your city? Okay. Would you like to live in a place that is dry or wet? Okay, I see. Let's move on. Can you describe the place where you live in? Okay. Do you plan to live there for a long time? Okay, let's proceed. Now, ice cream. Do you like ice cream? Okay. Did you eat ice cream when you were a child? Okay. Are there shops selling ice cream near the place where you live? Okay. All right, that's fine. Okay, let's move on to part two. Now, I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make some notes if you want. Okay? Now, I want you to describe an occasion when you spent time with a young child. Okay, I'm sending it now in the chat box. Can you see it? I see. Okay. Your 1 minute starts now. Okay. Now you have 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll let you know when the 2 minutes is up. Can you start speaking now, please? Okay, let's move on. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Do you think there are too many rules for children to follow, whether at school or at home? Okay, one more. Do you think there are too many rules for children to follow, whether at school or at home? Okay. Do you think children should follow all the rules? Okay. Do you think children should have a lot of toys? Okay. Where do children usually play? Okay, thank you. That is the end of your speaking test. Well done on completing your mock test. So, how do you feel about the test? Okay. What what part do you find or what part did you find more difficult? Part 1, part 2 or part 3? Part 1, rain. Question number 2. Oh, okay. Let's focus. Okay, let's focus on how to improve your answer in part 1, question number 2. Okay. Now I'll start sharing my screen. And let me know once you see it. Okay, you see it? Right, rain. Question number 2, does it rain much in your city? Okay. Actually, Katie, to be honest, many students are actually choosing this part 2 as difficult for them. But in the class, you don't need to worry because we actually have a strategy on how to improve and, yeah, how to improve your answer. So I will introduce you now our own strategy. This is actually a method. Okay. The method is called PREC or PREC method. Okay. But since this is part 1, we don't normally include the C. So it's pre-method. Okay. Now, what is pre-method? You might be wondering, what is this method for? How does this method help students? This method will surely guide you on what to say next. Because normally if you're going to be asked a question and then you need to answer quickly, you need to answer quickly, so you need to think fast. This method will help you organize your thought and what to say next, and to help you what to say next. Okay? Now, the PRE stands for, we have, okay, point, reason, example, and conclusion. Now, the C is conclusion, but we're not including that as of the moment. So, okay. Could you tell me what is the meaning of what first thing or what idea comes to your mind when you hear the word point? Idea. Okay, idea is okay. But to make it more accurate, you can say opinion. Or this question or this topic can be answerable. Answerable yes by, yes and no. Okay. Now point it's your opinion and answerable by yes or no. Okay. Now, okay. This is easy. The word reason is easy. But I want you to think of a word that what question do we need to answer when we talk about reason? What word is the best to describe reason? You're not sure? I see. It's okay. All right. The word is because. You noticed when the question is why, like why, asking for a reason, like why are you like that? Because the answer stands for because. So yeah, um we will need to know what will be the reasons. Okay, in your city. Why does it rain so much in your city? Okay, now example. This is easy because you will give example, but the example doesn't only talk about things or easy example. This example or words or sentences should be connected to your question, not just any other example. Okay? So this is related to your question. Okay, we just need to be careful with that. Okay, now let's start with point. Now, okay, for point, I will introduce to you now that we have to use some specific words that we use when we answer a question, or where we answer an opinion, when we'll give our opinion. Now, okay, here are the words that I want you to see. Okay, I want you to see these words, and please let me know which one would you like to choose from these sentences. Okay, we have well, I would say, well, I guess, personally, I believe, from my point of view, well, as for me, to be honest. So this is a good start for answering your point. Okay, you can choose which one would you like to use in your answer. Okay, first one, well, I would say. Okay, now let's have that well, I would say, and then your first answer here, sometimes in a rainy season. Okay, let's start with this one. So, okay, do you think this sentence is correct? I see. Okay, it's actually not correct. This is grammatically wrong. So we need to change some words here. So here we will change sometimes into correct spelling. Well, I would say sometimes. Now, which of these three words that we need to change? Okay. You're not sure? It should be rainy or okay. Actually, the word that we need to change is in. Okay, we need to change in into two. We need to change in into two more words. Okay. Are you familiar with article? Okay. Aan. There's another one. Aan the. Okay, good. Now, aan the is the articles that we have. Okay, we need to choose the here since aan is not that. Yeah, we don't need to use a for rainy. Okay, and then we need to add one more word here. Okay, can you think of one more word here that we need to add? Oh, you're not sure. It's okay. Okay, let's use this word is during. During in. During the apologies. Okay, we correct the spelling here and we change in into a grammatically correct sentence. Well, I would say sometimes during the rainy season. So the question is, does it rain much in your city? You can say, well, I would say sometimes during the rainy season. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's how you use it. And then we will also, now you've done with that. Okay, let's proceed with your reason. Okay, now that your answers are improved. Okay, are you feeling happy? Do you understand everything? I see. Okay, this time I will give you a minute so you can review all of the improved answer as well as your original answer. And then I will ask you the question again. Okay? Okay, I think you're ready. Now, does it rain much in your city? Okay. All right. Do you think that improved? I see. Okay, that's good to hear. All right. Now, do you have any questions about this part? Okay. None so far? I see. Okay. Are you feeling happy? Okay, that's good to hear. Now, let's have your band score feedback. Okay. For your band score feedback, we see here 2, 6, and then there are also 2, 5. 6 is the strongest or the high score, and 5 is the lowest score. Okay, now let's start with your 6. Okay, it says here 6, fluency and coherence. You did well here. It's just that there are some repetitions. So, okay, and some also a little bit of pauses. So next time we will need to practice about spontaneous. How do you speak spontaneous? Like we use the word prec method. When you master the prec method, you don't need to worry about the next word you will say. So you will be spontaneous next time. Okay? All right, good. Now the next one is lexicors. So I've noticed that your vocabulary is a little bit okay, but that's okay. Next lessons we will be improving that. So for example, vocabulary. Okay, Earlier, we need to have more vocabulary. For example, season. So what's the another word for season? Do you know? Okay, you're not sure. I see. It's weather, right? You can say season, weather, or you can actually have the correct one, like sunny, rainy, winter, fall. Okay. Now let's focus on your grammatical range and accuracy. Here, you remember the correction we had earlier? We change it into um during the. I know you know how to use preposition and the. I see. Sorry. Do you know how to use them in prepositions and articles? Ah, not that sure. Okay. Next time we will practice on prepositions, how to properly use prepositions, and your articles. Okay. So articles are aan, you know the aan, but the is a little bit difficult. I say, hey, that's okay. So next time we will explain them and use them in a sentence more so that you can connect and yeah. Okay, thank you. Now the last one would be I noticed earlier that you said season. Sometimes you say season. Okay, for this word, the correct pronunciation is SSSEA. The sound is C, and then the S next is not that S, totally S. It sounds like a little Z. Season, season. That would be the natural English. Okay? And then the intonation too. So we need to practice on your intonation when to stop, proper breathing. That's very important. And the high intonation, the question intonation. For example, how are you today? Day. You notice that's the high intonation. That means it's a question. I'm okay. So you say okay. It's a down intonation. So we need to practice that. And when you read long sentences or when you speak long sentences, please know when to stop and to breathe. Okay? That's very important. Now for the overall, I see. So we need to practice on your intonation, grammar, and yeah, okay, more. I see. Thank you. All right. Do you have any questions about the band score feedback or the mock test? None so far. Okay, that's good to hear. Now let's move on to your course plan. Now this is the course plan. It says here this is a system generated information. Now, but the target score is correct and your real score is also correct. Now, the suggested class that we have in the system is every day. You need to take one lesson every day. And then, okay, the suggested class number is 20 to 30. Yeah, because it's still August. We still have time to do all the classes. Now, for the practice mode, it says here it's a combination type. Now, for the practice mode, if you're done, since prec method is actually easy, we can finish that within 20 minutes or 25 minutes. In the next class, if you want to change the topic to part 1 but different question, or part 3, which is we also use the same method, prec, you can actually have that in the class. Okay? And then the teaching strategy. This time, when you are done or mastered with the prec method for part 1 and part 3, there are actually things that you also need to master in part 2, which is the IMF. That's another strategy. And yeah, but if you choose that topic, then we can discuss that soon. Now, teaching strategy, as I told you, I will teach you when to pause for your intonation, pronunciation. I forgot to tell you, I'm sorry, idioms. Next time, we will practice more idioms, the grammar, articles, and preposition. So I would be happy to help you with that. Okay? All right, do you have any questions? Okay, none so far. That's good. Okay. If you wanted to ask anything about the class or the how to purchase a class, you can please message your teacher assistant. They would be happy to help you about that. As well as asking for your band score, your feedback comments, please ask teacher assistant. Okay, and don't forget your homework. Review the class report for this class, the comments, the changes that we have, yeah, the score, and everything actually. Please have time to check them. Now preview the content for the next class, and I will be happy to look forward our next class. Okay? Thank you. Overall, do you have any questions? None so far. Okay. Once again, my name is Teacher John, and I'm happy to see you today. See you next class. Bye bye.